The rise of fake gurus. Haven't we watched this? Isn't this Eye Patch Wolf? No. The dark truth behind making millions from online courses. I mean, pretty much everyone knows that online courses are a scam. But I'm interested.
Telling you that sign up to my free training.
Free training that I'm giving you an invitation to.
Turn up for the online training
and join our completely free training where I'm
registered to attend our free.
Whenever you hear that, just know that it's a scam. Like, I feel like everyone knows that.
And there's just so many of them. It's like a copy and paste. What you might not realize is that at first it seems a bit harmless, but some of these people are earning millions. Millions.
Whoa!
Millions.
What?
And then when you really look into it and you realize a lot of these people have a cult-like following.
You're telling me Sam, what was his name? Sam Ovkin? I wasn't even close. Sam Ovens has a cult following? I don't believe that for even a fucking second. How to become a consultant. This fucking guy even paid for the Google Premium thing where you get like ad on top of everything. So real quick, I'll give another pro tip if anyone's prone to getting scammed. Whenever you see this, like if you see ad up here, never click on this. You can just pay for this, and a lot of times what'll happen is a scam company will pay for this to try and bait people into signing up to a fake service. That happens all the time, especially with RuneScape. So if you try and download something like RuneScape, the first 3 of these are going to have ad here, and all 3 of them are viruses. So, pretty counterintuitive already, Sam. This is so wildly... It is so hard to figure out what this guy does, like what his actual business is. His flagship consulting accelerator training has produced 25 millionaires, nearly 500 six-figure earners, and allowed over 3,000 people to quit their jobs and work full-time as consultants. That doesn't really fucking tell me anything. Like, this is wild. Jesus Christ! And you're telling me Sam Ovens has a cult following? I don't believe this for even a second. He had to have been born rich. How to okay. He quite literally just sells courses. That is his whole business. Here. I found it. It is literally only selling courses. So in 42 days, I can start my own profitable business and get my first customer. With the consulting accelerator. You know, one thing I've never seen is a successful man who ever paid for one of these courses.
Preferably it's something to do
Never.
with wealth or health.
Not a single one.
Relationships. Something.
And I'm going to show you step by step how my students are earning 6 and even 7 figures working from their laptops from home.
Yeah, but you never hear anyone say that. Like, I've never heard a millionaire, when asked the question, how did he become successful? Oh yeah, I bought Sam Ovens' training consulting accelerator.
Doesn't matter if you really don't know what you're talking
really
about.
Blew me up.
Hire an expert, get them.
It seems like you don't have to try that hard to market it. You just say the same dog shit that everyone else says.
This is the stage.
You just copy their script.
You can make enough money to be financially free.
You could be generating profit in a matter of just hours, if not just a few days.
Earning 6.
Wow, that quick, huh?
Are earning 6 and even 7 figures working from their laptops from home.
That I've got.
Like, how does anyone... I don't get it. I don't get it. How does anyone see this and be like, yeah, that's probably legit? This is no different than the sexy singles waiting to fuck you in your area. I really thought these were just dead on arrival things. I had no idea they were an actual successful business. That is mind-boggling to me.
The more time they get to spend with you and the more trust they build towards you, and the higher the chance that you can sell them on higher priced courses. Another thing is, make sure they're not distracted. If you want to make sure that their whole attention is focused on you in this webinar.
So I'm basically just dating them.
Turn off the social media, to tell your family, leave me alone.
Close down Facebook, turn off Netflix, turn off Instagram, hide your phone if you need to for the next 60 minutes, because this exact training has changed literally thousands of lives, and it can do the same for you.
This sounds awful.
No,
It's a
hold up.
parasocial
What are you
relationship.
saying?
It's not even training.
James, I don't have any information.
Willing to put in real work.
And you need to take action. If you're still with me today, you're an action taker.
Anyone, anywhere from any country on earth can earn a full-time living on Amazon if they're willing to put in the work. Listen, if
They can't even
ever
use a
told you
microphone.
you
They're
get
using a
rich,
fucking
they're
Mac
selling you
built-in
something and
mic.
They're lying to you, right? Because it's not.
Can't you
easy
get
to
like a
rich.
Blue
And that's
Yeti?
why most people, when they read
This is a Sigma male grind set for sure. Hey, what's up, babe? I bought Sam Oven's training course.
On your course, say,
So we
here's
fucking at my
Johnny,
place of
he
yours,
made
what's up?
100 grand in his phone. Easy. Easy, easy, easy.
You don't have to have any experience to get started. You don't have to have any tech skills or buy any software. You don't need your own product.
You never.
Well, what do you need? Like, what do you do? Just sit there and hope that someone buys air? Like, you don't need any of that?
Experts. You don't need to take the risk of failing. You don't need to hire employees.
God,
no matter your
okay, hold on. Wait, I want to see this whole list. So what is the position here? So you don't need to even be alive, it sounds like. You don't have to have your own product or create one, okay? Like what do you do? You don't have to do sales. You don't have to have an audience. So who's buying this? Like, how can you read this list and be like, huh? So I do nothing. So then what happens? I buy this course and I get told I don't have to do anything, and then what? This is crazy. I've never seen the courses. I only ever see the ads and just write it off immediately. But seeing this, it's even crazier that anyone would believe this for even a second. This is literally the old fucking meme of like step 1 question mark step 2 profit.
So here's what you want to do. You want to create scarcity.
So if you want to get these additional bonuses, you need to join now. And if you're going to think about it, you're going to miss out on this.
these bonuses.
Who's this goofball? I only looked up Sam Ovens, but this guy's got my full attention. He looks like he wasn't meant to be in this line of work, like he was just an extra looking for work. So he's like the stunt double for the real John Crestani. Like, his heart doesn't seem in it at all. Let's see. It's all so fucking vague. Your job as an affiliate marketer is to do better job of selling the product than the merchant itself. Thanks, John. That's the entire about section. Incredible. Well, I know all I need to know now about John, I guess. Thanks to the resub Hoopsnake, Sir Eric Valentine, and the Prime Yanko. Is there anything else? There's almost no words on here. I guess he's like catering to those that are illiterate, that accidentally buy his course. Like, there is absolutely no words on this whole fucking site. It's just pictures of John.
So I started off in college. I was running a little tutoring business, and I want to get some extra beer money, so I set up a website, and I put out some ads. I kind of taught myself to get more customers, and that turned into working for an ad agency out of college and doing pretty well, so that some of the business owners said,
He is wearing a leather jacket, so he means business.
I had my own
He
business.
sure does, and if you Google John Crestani, you'll see what he's talking about. Now,
No. That's how I ended up here. I googled John Crestani and I saw nothing that made any sense, which is how I landed on this unlisted video on a most likely fake news segment he made. I quite literally can't find anything about what he does. It is like genuinely impossible to understand anything that John Crestani is doing. All he says is he's creating affiliate marketers and that it's your job to make money. Like what do you mean? I'm not learning anything. I'm just being confused.
These bonuses are only available for a very limited time and are only available for the people who are really ready to invest into their future.
He is a
today,
growth
because
hacker, I
once these
suppose.
bonuses are gone, guys. They're gone forever.
For people on this webinar today only, I'm going to do it for $1,999.
You can tell them it's okay to finance it with their credit cards or whatever the hell.
The money. If the money is the biggest hurdle, but if you have the desire, if you have the time,
Oh,
if you have
God.
the willingness,
Oh,
we have an
God, don't do
option
it.
for you. You can
No.
actually use PayPal credit and
John!
get started.
Go into debt for John,
little to no money
or you'll
down.
never be successful.
Essentially free to.
Yeah, we got absolved into the DevOps program, but yeah.
Oh, God. Holy
You
shit.
don't tell them the truth. right? I mean,
oh my
we're selling
God.
shovels in a gold rush, thousands of pounds. Most of them I got on Udemy, and they're like 10 quid here and there. About probably in total I spent £200 on online courses. They're not.
It's super different though. Like when you're taking an online course for something like editing, you know exactly what you're getting into. They're going to teach you how to edit. Like you are absolutely getting what you want when you're taking like a course from editors. But when you're taking a course from just a dude who says that he can make you millions, you're gambling a lot more on this guy somehow giving you tools to make millions of dollars. Like it can't even be talked about in the same sentence. Like there are courses that are good, but none of them are like get rich courses. Like success courses, there's not a single one that'll actually make you better or make you more successful. There is literally not a single one that I can think of that will ever get you in a position to be more successful in life. But if you're taking a course for like a focused thing, editing, even sports, you know, there's so much for that.
They're not trying to tell me.
Fucking wild that people conflate those two.
Unless
he's not. I'm not saying he is. I saw it in the chat.
I think a lot of these.
Just a little heads up. I know he's
aside
not.
From all of the moral, I think personally a lot of them aren't gonna last. I think
I'm surprised they're still around.
Get extremely unethical, or they're going to be caught out in some sense, or there's going to be some kind of regulation. But for your own sake, just don't get into them in the first place.
That was a really well put together video. I hadn't heard of half of those gurus.
Like this, I've got a lot of exciting stuff planned. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Check out my last video as well. I did it.
I hope he sells a course at the end. These are all scams, but mine's real.
That's an awesome video.
That was a great video, actually. The only major gurus I knew were Ty Lopez and the Paul brothers. The Paul brothers, I don't know if they still do, but they used to do online seminars just like that. Genuine, full throttle, dog shit, awful courses. And I actually watched one, because obviously being the Paul brothers, people just put out the entire course. So I watched some of it. And I just assumed everyone would know that all of that shit is fake, but I guess not. Actually fucking wild. Chronicles of Elvira, $8 million Kickstarter game? Oh, Illyria? $8 million game reveal. Did this actually receive $8 million in funding? $1.3 million. I'm assuming a company or like an investor came in as well, if I had to guess. Surprisingly, unlike every other Kickstarter game ever, they haven't just completely abandoned it. At least they're giving updates still. Okay. I'm interested. Let's take a peek. Well, actually, let me watch their initial pitch while we're here. Because they had a huge ask for this. 900K. Hyper J.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Walsh.
What's up,
owner
Jeremy?
of Soulbound Studios and creative director of the innovative new MMO Chronicles of Illyria. I'm here today to talk to you about the Kickstarter we're running for this new.
When a game says that it's innovative, I know that it's not.
Possible and immersive. Hi, team.
Hi. What the fuck's going on?
Coming from a broad range of game companies such as Microsoft Game Studio, Sony Online Entertainment,
Can I just see the
Foxy
game?
Studio, Monolith, Bungie, Snowblind Studio, Pandemic Studios, and Liquid Entertainment made sure that in landscape really it just require player skill.
Here we
the best
go.
example of that is our combat system, which we'll talk more about later.
Wow.
The fourth design pillar of and a lot of MMOs, they automate things such as fast travel and a mail system in
Oh,
order
God.
to make the game go by faster.
Yes.
What we want to do with Chronicles
Quality
of
of
Illyria is
life.
slow the game down again. Give you an opportunity to travel from point A to point B, to stop and make camp.
That's a hard sell
and to
on me.
reintroduce those elements that allow opportunities for dramatic.
We
events.
removed everything that makes the game
Now that we have a
fun.
high-level overview,
where we permanently kill a character when they die of old age or of combat wounds or whatever. But a problem we ran into.
If they don't eat healthy, they get
players
diabetes.
want some feeling of continuity.
You have to
don't want
really take care of your
everything
character in
just like Illyria, so
Illyria.
accumulating,
Illyria.
and then have to restart. It's just not.
one of the things I'm really excited about with Chronicles of Illyria, and one of the things that we're doing a little bit differently, is the introduction of a family system. The
Oh,
family system is
wow.
so important. It's actually the third step in character creation after picking which soul you're going to use.
Maybe you go down the dark side and you find alcohol.
Today, the first thing you do during character creation
And
is
the
actually
family doesn't like
determine your
that.
class and race. I'm of no benefit to them, or if I do come along with
This is a really long Kickstarter pitch, I'll be
You're
honest.
dead weight, exactly.
This
So in
is like a
case,
lot
we
more
introduce a
effort than
system
most bad
specifically caters to the
Kickstarters.
family, which is the bolstering system.
And it doesn't even seem bad
the
so
bolstering
far.
system works like this. If you're in game, they are actually
Estimated delivery
Not only can you
2016.
walk, run, sprint, jump,
You can also vault, climb onto walls, hang off ledges.
I see, it's been a while.
Climb onto the rooftops and do flourishy jumps if you want to. But the system...
Look at that shit, he's free running.
It's completely player skill based.
I saw that kind of shit in YouTube videos.
As well as
what happens when they don't deliver?
So
Nothing.
you could actually build up a huge reputation.
There's no obligation for them to even deliver anything ever.
To a large number of
A
people.
lot of them don't.
And then you can also set up a...
Okay.
Those are
This is a lot to take in. Let's just see what we actually ended up getting. This pitch seems like one of the most ambitious titles I've ever heard. I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere at the 15-minute mark they introduce a system that allows you to literally import your real soul into the game and live out the rest of your life in Illyria. So let's see what we actually ended up with.
This is a story about a game that claimed to give players the freedom they wanted, freedom to live, freedom to die. Hundreds of thousands of fans, 6 years of waiting.
Finally, a game lets me die.
Day, no one.
If you die in Illyria, you die in the real world.
In a fantasy land
I
where
believe
seemingly anything was possible. For many, it was literally a dream come true. So where did it all go wrong? Let's start at the beginning. April 28th, 2009.
2009?
The crowdfunding platform launches. September 20th,
I was gonna say.
Or at least the first instance.
Jesus Christ.
October 10th, 2012. The Game Developers Conference. Star Citizen is announced.
Yo, it's the one!
Ever presented.
That's like a $300 million crowdfunded
on a scale
piece of shit.
Anything we'd ever seen. September 18th, 2015, the first ever screenshot of Chronicles of Illyria would be shared on the company's Twitter timeline.
Look at that beauty.
Is already beginning to grow, giving the company anywhere from $5 at the lowest level of contribution to $10,000 for the King or Queen package at the top level. Each package would allegedly come with an array of goodies to tempt in the potential backers, ranging from a wallpaper and access to the newsletter at the lowest end, and a literal kingdom to rule over in the game at the high end. For $10,000, you could own your own kingdom. And of course, you're probably wondering if anyone would pay to be a king or a queen. They did. 4 of them.
And now they're very unhappy, I bet.
Mostly positively. Project funding will continue on our site, chroniclesofillyria.com, after the Kickstarter ends, starting June 6th. We will offer the ability to upgrade your existing pledge. When the website came up, it would feature a ticker which showed the exact dollar amount raised from the various products and perks sold on the website.
Holy shit.
And it would continue to tick by month after month as more fans of the genre caught wind of Chronicles of Illyria and became enamored with the idea of this unbelievable journey they would soon embark upon.
But why though?
The story, we have to introduce a supporting character.
Just wait for it to come out and buy
common
it.
Payments. With this came an admission of neglect in transparency with the community that had supported the dream to this stage. The game was not progressing at the speed they had promised. The inability to attract world-class engineers to...
Let me see. What does this statement even mean? Second, we wrongly assume that having a kick-ass game design, rock-solid team of core employees, and successful Kickstarter under our belt would immediately draw in world-renowned talent. Wait, what, you wanted, like, Logan Paul to promote it or something? Is it, like, what the fuck does that statement even mean? We continue to have only a single engineer from May until December of 2016. Alright. Well, that'll do it.
Alpha 1 would now...
They're waiting for someone to make the game for them.
2018. Skipping forward to January 12th, 2018.
That's a good plan.
The game was still yet to be played.
Can we watch some good Kickstarters? Are they all a scam or some actually
the revolutionary tech solution that they'd announced as a
I'm pretty harsh on Kickstarters for good reason, but some of them do deliver and are good.
They had spoken so
I think Chivalry was actually a Kickstarter game.
Months working with as funding continued to gradually increase throughout 2017 and 2018.
Why?
But there was something in the air.
They made almost $1 million doing nothing.
Deadlines, lack of communication, and of
Holy
course,
shit.
an increase in worrying crowdfunding events. The cracks were already beginning to show. The official channels for communication, the Discord, the forums would become increasingly hostile, and more people were either being banned or removing themselves. The updates were less frequent, the features
they're lost. They don't get to own a kingdom in Illyria.
We had not seen almost September 6th, 2019.
Let's go.
The first gameplay footage of Chronicles of Illyria seen.
It looks so good.
Since
Fuck!
October 30th, 2017.
This is gonna change everything.
The first video ever from Soulbound Studios to receive a negative like to dislike ratio since the announcing of the game.
This looks like some shit we'd play on bad game nights from Steam.
Comments flooded in.
Oh my
asking
god.
what was going on. Why did the game look this way? I posted a video claiming that Chronicles of Elyria would soon cease operations.
Oh, now how
at the
dumb do you
studio,
feel now,
and the
huh?
game would subsequently be cancelled. With the pre-alpha, the players would finally get to test the game.
Oh,
The
let's
game
get
was
it.
finally inside. One more step and pre-alpha would be in the players' hands. The
Wow,
Settlers of Elyria
it actually
event
looks
would
like
last for 45
RuneScape.
days and allow the
Like if
community to buy
RuneScape,
plots
old
of
school
land
RuneScape was
within
made
the
in
game world
Unity.
for between
Holy
$65
shit.
and $1,350 each. 20th of March 2020.
Wow.
The post opens. Soulbound
I feel
Studios
stupid for being
hard
excited for
work on
Breath of the
gameplay
Wild
features
2
and technology
when this
that
exists.
will deliver Chronicles. Pre-alpha was available to the backers, titled Trial of the Tested. This would turn out to be nothing more than a small obstacle course. Something many developers claim to be able to put together in a matter of days. or
What the
hours.
fuck is
The
this?
announcement
It's
posted
actually RuneScape. They gave you an agility course.
Climbing, ziplining.
Oh my
and
God.
running. The post, of course, ended.
Jagex has a lawsuit on their hands.
The non-disclosure agreement was in effect. No one would be permitted to show footage of the gameplay.
It really
No
does
one
look like a
allowed to
student
speak
game.
of the experience.
Like a
Quote,
freshman
"Small
at
playable
university."
Experiences are planned. As this was happening, a new player was approaching. A Discord appeared titled "Class Action for COE." A Discord dedicated
Oh,
to
baby.
botting to get restitution for the community that had funded this
Wouldn't
project
work.
to completion and been delivered.
Literally
nothing.
doesn't work.
April 9th,
Kickstarter
2020,
scams never
a
get held
letter from
accountable.
Jeremy to the public, correcting a misunderstanding.
But I like the
It was
chutzpah.
never his intent. The blog post raised more questions than answered, talking about transparency, restoring the forums in a read-only
I
state.
can't believe
and
it didn't come out.
Shoring of backers. 17th of August 2020, movement in the class action lawsuit Discord. Some backers had hired lawyers and the ball had started to roll. But the surprise here, the letters are dense in legalese, but both of them are uniform in their reply. Our clients did no wrongdoings. Our clients will not comply with your demands.
Oh, they're playing hardball.
Neither side willing to budge. The only solution, settle it in court. A
Let's
costly
fucking
and
get it.
time-consuming undertaking. 3rd of
In
February
Illyria's
2021,
court. You have to play
legal papers are
in-game
filed with a
at
district
the courthouse in
court. Everything
Illyria.
is now in motion. Until today, the 1st of April 2021, when I'm recording this video, not a single soul outside of Soulbound Studios has played Chronicles of Elyria or could attest to the authenticity of the project.
Thanks to Prime
No
Brady
one
and
ever
Resub
played
Smack.
this game, and many would be waiting patiently for the legal proceedings for clarity. The prevailing sentiment being that if Jeremy wouldn't share with us the real situation, perhaps they could force him to in court. This
Good
is the
idea.
Chronicles of Elyria.
It was great. He's been crushing it. We watched like 4 Kira TV videos because he's covering so many MMO scams that I've become addicted to. And what remarkable timing, because 2 days ago they released another episode from Chronicles of Elyria. I am so excited. So we saw the pre-alpha. Actually, hold on. Before I do this, let's watch like a full let's play of it.
Shortcuts because my
Did you kill the
intuition.
guy yet?
What?
Oh no.
Oh, ooh.
Oh,
It's alright, we'll just ignore that.
That's a
Flipping issue.
that'll be a
There's
time
the skull
time
over
loss.
on that skull hit on the left hand side. Raging River, right? Oh, he's looking at
Oh, there's some combat in here.
Oh.
In fact, it even looks pretty smooth. Oh wow.
Dead?
He's
Maybe.
dead.
He's
He's
dead.
definitely dead.
Very
He's
suspicious.
He's playing a death animation.
Does that count? I think
I didn't watch him die.
You didn't watch him die.
Is that part of the requirements?
We're just gonna assume that he
I feel
died
like you
then.
guys.
All right, all right. And then, is this the second or first one? Oh, this is the first one. Oh, fuck, Elyria is so beautiful. I wish our world could look like this. It's like if James Cameron made a video game and then took a shit on it. Man, I'm about to start tearing up. Imagine spending $10,000 to own a kingdom in this shit. I think that would be worse than owning an NFT. Why would they even release this?
We're still making changes to the UI, so it might be a little small. See all the nameplates at once to make it easy to figure out where you're.
So they turned it into Roller Coaster Tycoon? Like, what is this?
Of your NPCs. So we do want to be able to give you a bird's eye view of knowing how healthy people are just by looking at them.
This does look like a game that Nintendo would have shown off at their
Let's go ahead and
direct.
click on my all revive. It's kind of what we've got: the round neck with the straight leg.
Why are you focusing on clothes so much?
Neck with no lace, short sleeve. With
Does anything
baggy
happen in this
pants.
game?
If the time and see your settlement.
Are they just making this as quickly as possible to avoid being sued?
But after a recent play session,
Like, why do
and a
this?
semi-weekly playtest, I
Just
think we've decided
leave.
that we want to, at the very least, add tools. At its current size, is
Wow.
currently using the same game data as one of the larger rocks, and that's because there's a lot of data and a lot of assets based on a game like this, and we have to make sure that they're all kept in sync.
Wow,
And in case it's
this
not.
is
And
good.
so when I'm done mining
Alright, Chronicles of Illyria. I can sign up now to get nothing in return, I guess. Except be on Jeremy's mailing list. No, it doesn't look like you can keep funding it, which is great. I think this game looks great. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. It does look pretty good. You get to do nothing, I guess, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I can't even find anything about this. On their website, they're still advertising it as an MMO, but here it's not only not called Chronicles of Illyria anymore, but it's also not an MMO. Apparently it's like a village builder, where you get to pick out your character's clothes. Is that like a fashion designer thing? How confusing. Well, I have no sympathy for the people who paid $10,000. Like, you pretty much deserved it. I don't know why you would blindly throw $10K into something on Kickstarter, especially when there's literally nothing to present. That was cool. Another good MMO, another Kickstarter classic. Yeah, it received $8 million total, and there was 4 people in particular on Kickstarter that backed for $10,000 because they were told they'd get to own their own village in the MMO. I don't even understand why you'd ever believe that, nor want that. I like that they're all MMOs. Yeah, you know, the reason they're MMOs is because that's the most marketable genre. Most people play an MMO or have played an MMO at some point, so it's just the most general genre to get as many people as possible. There's an actual reason that they're all MMOs. Have any of you heard of this? Mellowmint? I'm curious. Overwhelmingly, no. And one guy who's lying saying yes. I saw this yesterday, and it is one of the most fascinating projects I've ever seen. So I want to take you on a little journey through this project here. So it's basically nothing. But it's nothing that they're selling for $107,000 for access to a music playlist. We'll go through all of the mumbo jumbo at the top in a moment, but just take a peek at this. $107,000 for the quintessential playlist, the creme de la creme of music. 71% is dominated by the soul-penetrating melodies of the Balkans. By purchasing this, you're not only securing 2,645 songs carefully curated to move your soul, but you're also casting a vote and joining Mellowmint in a global musical revolution by supporting our audacious vision. Immerse yourself in this unforgettable audio journey and join us on the path to reshaping the world for the better. So this isn't even music they make. This is just 2,645 tracks they pulled into Spotify, basically, and they're charging you $107,000 for access to it. Which is fascinating. And apparently their mission is to change the world by giving you access to music they deem to be high quality, which of course means nothing. It's just whatever this guy liked. So if we go back to the top here of what Mellowmint is, I need to give you guys a look into pure lunacy. Because it's just a bunch of buzzwords that they had ChatGPT spit out for them. Once upon a time in the kaleidoscopic landscape of the music universe, an innovative entity was born, Mellowmint. It wasn't just a brand, but a vision. A new dawn that promised to reduce human suffering worldwide using the power of music. The mastermind behind Mellowmint had a grand design, a plan so ambitious and beautiful that it was destined to unite people across the world. The guy speaks like he's in a fucking anime. Like, this is just the most egregious scam ever. Like, this actually seems like one of those Reddit posts from back during the, like, I am euphoric, not in this moment because of some phony god, but I'm enlightened by my own intelligence or whatever. It has that energy, but in 2023. Let's say that an influential icon, a trendsetter with a powerful voice, made an unexpected purchase. They invest into the most exclusive music playlist ever to be curated. An audacious act, sure to pique curiosity among fans. It wouldn't, though. If anyone bought this, you'd just be ridiculed, rightfully, and bullied, rightfully, for doing so. I don't know, that sounds like a good deal. Well, it is the most exclusive music playlist ever to be curated, so maybe I'll hear the 2,645 tracks and I'll get taller, I'll be happier, my beard will be fuller. It's all possible. The way he speaks about this makes it sound like it's a goddamn panacea to all the world's ailments. A story unravels as the world tunes into the influencer's content, mesmerized by the unique symphony of sounds found in the Mellowmint playlist. Excitement builds. The rhythm of Mellowmint hypnotizes the masses, launching a viral movement of unity, a symphony of shared experience. Like, I can already just hear their pinky out as they're typing this. As the echoes of Mellowmint reverberate, our vision broadens. Unexpected but very much needed musical collaborations start to happen on the global plane. We turn the volume up on our philanthropic efforts, launching our charity initiative. Music is our tool, and with it, we will orchestrate change. And it's not even their music. Like, if this was a band doing this, I wouldn't even care as much. I'd be like, you know what? This is a fun way of marketing your music. This is just one fucking goofball goober with stained undies that just took 2,600 songs he liked on Spotify and put them into a playlist. That's it. That's it. It's crazy. Why is this not illegal? Because well, good question, actually. I was going to say because you're getting exactly what you pay for, but he's promising that this music is somehow going to change the world, basically. So, I mean, that is very fraudulent. I don't know. It's criminally delusional. He should be locked up because this man belongs in Arkham Asylum with this shit. Our melody doesn't stop there. The world becomes our dance floor as we host immersive Mellowmint branded parties worldwide. These events are symphonies of togetherness and celebration, amplified by the unique rhythm of our music. The world unites under the Mellowmint banner celebrating life. The one world government becomes Mellowmint. Everything rolls under Mellowmint's umbrella thanks to this carefully curated musical playlist. If someone's dumb enough to pay for it and fall for it, that's on them. Oh, true. That is 100% on them. Meanwhile, Mellowmint evolves into a stage for undiscovered talent. We cast the spotlight on the fresh, raw voices of budding artists and producers, giving their creativity a platform. Mellowmint becomes not just a brand, but a cultural phenomenon. It brings a revolution, a shift in the very way we consume, create, and celebrate music. What shift? Other than having a $100,000 entry fee. That's the only change. You have a music playlist. Those have existed for 30 years. This isn't just an ambitious plan. It's a call to action for anyone who loves music, unity, and making a difference. With Mellowmint, every beat is a step closer to a world where music is the true universal language of unity. By investing in this vision, you become a part of the symphony, an architect of this global phenomenon. They're using Unity more often than the fucking game engine itself uses it. That word has lost all meaning for me right now. Like, I'm already forgetting that it's a real word. I think there's a 0% chance the guy behind this actually believes this, though. It's just all designated to try and get one big whale on board. The Mellowmint goals for 2023-2024: making the world a better place through music one song at a time. What an incredibly difficult goal. How are you going to accomplish that in the next couple of months for 2023, or even in 2024? And how are you going to measure whether or not the world's a better place and whether or not it's because of your music playlist? Charity fundraiser launch, never happening. This just goes right into his little piggy bank. Celebrating life with Mellowmint branded parties worldwide, again, never happening. No one would go unless you paid them to go, which you're not going to do. Showcasing and helping careers of fresh producers, talent and artists, connecting artists and producers worldwide and inspiring collaborations. Lil Pump 6ix9ine Future Travis Scott making a track on Jewel Marcel Murad type beat. EU beats in the following text. I'm sure they'd love to collaborate for Mellowmint. I bet they'd love to hop on that together. Lil Pump, 6ix9ine, Future, Travis Scott, vibing to Balkan music. They love Balkan music here. That was one of their big selling points for the $100,000 package. And who's to say they're not already vibing to Balkan music? US rappers collabing with EU artists on EU beats. Trap beats are boring. Well, I was just about to buy it too, and now you've insulted my tastes. I'll take my business to the other $100,000 playlists. Scoundrel. If I only knew I had 170 days left to live out my life, this is definitely where I would spend my money. If you're dying, You don't want to die without listening to this playlist, so put your money where your mouth is. The Quintessential Playlist is a handcrafted masterpiece carefully curated over decades and passionately fashioned from thousands of albums and tracks. It is an extravagant marvel in the world of music. This exclusive collection is nothing less than the culmination of a lifetime devoted to exploration and adoration of good music, an enduring testament to the transformative power of rhythm and lyrics. Who dictates whether or not it's good? Just this one weirdo's tastes? Probably not a single #1 hit on that playlist. Oh, absolutely not. You think he would besmirch the handcrafted beauty of this playlist with a Billboard-topping song? Disgusting. No. This is for real music, such as the sound of 3 trash cans being banged together. Oh, yes. Just even thinking about that starting to change the world for me. Venturing far beyond the realm of the ordinary, the Quintessential Playlist is a result of countless hours, days, and years spent delving truly deep into the global music vault. Every song is handpicked meeting the toughest criteria, every track polished to perfection, every melody carrying its own unique story. This prodigious compilation is a comprehensive reflection of the world's best musical landscape, the musical brilliance of countless artists, the raw emotion encapsulated in their creations, all harmoniously compiled into 250 hours of exquisite musical experience. Brother, what are you talking about? At the very bottom of this, it says that it's 143 hours. You're lying. This says right here, in plain, ordinary English, 2,645 tracks equate to 143 hours of listening time. Where's the 250 coming from here? Are you lying? Are you telling me a lie? Oh my god. How am I supposed to trust them now with my money? But yeah, I saw this project yesterday and I was just blown away by just how shameless it is. With a Quintessential Playlist, you don't just listen. You connect to the world and reaching a global audience. It's about bridging the gap between continents, cultures, and individuals, about resonating with the collective heartbeat of humanity. Experience the influence, the reach, the significance, the Quintessential Playlist. If there's no The Gentlemen on it, then this whole playlist is worthless. And here's the party they're talking about that's never going to be thrown. I actually feel like this is made by the guy who made Firefest, and I already forgot that fucking goofball's name. But it's basically just like the same thing. You're buying a ticket to the once-in-a-lifetime event that mirrors the vibrancy and energy of the music it celebrates. It's just a blatant scam. That image was generated by AI, was it? Oh yeah, it was. The hands are fucked up. This actually is just an AI image. Cute. Well, I mean, he's not saying the party's been thrown yet. It's just, it's coming. And this is them showing you that. Oh! I never even scrolled down this far. There's a $35 taste test. Not ready to commit? No worries at all. The taste test will change your mind. Dip your toes into the boundless ocean of music with our sample offering. A finely curated selection of 17 extraordinary tracks gives you a small yet immersive glimpse into the Mellow Mint universe. Soul-stirring heart of Balkan tunes, electric energy of European rap pop, and an intoxicating whisper of sultry reggaeton. If you pay $35 for a fucking playlist, you deserve to go to jail. Straight up. And if you pay $107,000 for access to a playlist, you deserve to go to hell. Like, I don't know what to tell you. This is tragic. Very cool, though. That's the Mellow Mint difference. We might start seeing a subtle change in the world for the better, and we'll know who to thank for it. But he's delivering on everything he promised. It's most certainly life-changing being $107,000 in debt. Oh, this, I would not have expected this. Here, the first thing that comes up when you go to the Mellow Mint Twitter is this tweet. The carbon emissions and global warming agenda is a globalistic construct. The climate is a dynamic system and there's so much to it. The Earth naturally cycles between hot and cold periods, which have been documented. It immediately goes into, like, this is all a globalistic agenda. When it's all about, listen to the Balkan music for $107,000, we're changing the world, unity, this and that. Very interesting. The words scam and YouTuber go together like peanut butter and jelly. Usually when you see these two words in the same sentence together, it indicates that a YouTuber is the one doing the scamming. But today, I've got a goofy little sad story for you that subverts your expectations more than Game of Thrones Season 8. This turns that narrative on its head, because in today's story, a YouTuber was the victim of a scam and lost about $1 million in pursuit of a dream. This is the story of how a friend of mine named Oompaville was schmeckeldorfed out of 1 million clams by a greasy worm named Jake. Oompaville just posted a beautifully made documentary going over the entire situation, so I highly recommend checking that out for the full story. Basically, Oompaville embarked on a journey to fulfill a dream of starting his own candy company called Sour Boys, and along the way got into bed with a bad demon named Jake, who hosed $1 million out of him in a big, disgusting scam. And this is something that I actually have a close personal connection to, because I was actually very much updated on his company, Sour Boys, over the last year and a half. Last January of 2022, Oompaville talked to me about his candy company, and I was super excited by it. Oompaville was glowing, blushing in the cheeks every time he'd talk about it. It was like he was going to prom every single day when I'd ask about the candy company. And it made me super happy to see that from him. Just a really cool project and venture taken by someone that was very passionate about the product. And I mentioned this in the stream clips I want to show a little bit later, but I'll mention it here too. I'd actually tried the candy, well, me and my friends had all tried the candy by complete accident. It was sent to our P.O. box like 2 years ago or something like that. And we were eating it during a Moist Esports watch party and just fucking loving it. And we had no idea it was his. It wasn't until much later that we learned that Sour Boys that we were eating was Oompaville's. So it was a product that I had already liked without ever even knowing it was his. So it was top quality. And I eventually was told by Oompa that he was unfortunately used like a fucking fleshlight by a scammer and lost tons and tons of money, and that he'd be making a video on it. And now that video is finally out, so I'd like to talk about it here today because it is tragic. Now, I want to make it clear that this doesn't mean that Sour Boys is dead and buried. According to Oompaville, they are still pursuing a full launch, and it is apparently in a very good place, so that should be on the horizon at some point. But this is a massive $1 million hiccup. That's a hiccup that could put you in an early grave, honestly. Losing that amount of money to a scammer is nothing shy of an absolute asteroid hitting your world. But Oompa and his family have persevered and are still planning on launching Sour Boys in a big way. Sour Boys is started by Oompaville, but he has hired like most of his family to do it with him, as well as other people on payroll. So it is a huge undertaking, and God willing, he's not been scammed by his family next. It should come out at some point. But anyway, let me explain what the scam was and how he lost so much money over the course of starting this business. In a nutshell, Oompa launching a candy company. It's actually candy that I had before by accident, like I didn't know it was his. You might remember during our early Moist Esports watch parties, we were all eating a bunch of like sour candy. That was his candy. We didn't know it. Like it actually slapped. And those were like, I guess, prototypes that he did like a promotional for that we got. And fast forward over the last year and a half or so, I don't remember how long it's been now, but he's been trying to launch that candy company in a bigger way, so he's upped the production, got a warehouse, and he got a big machine in order to really be able to pump out volume and scale. Turns out the person who supposedly built the machine and shipped him the machine was a giant fucking scammer who also happened to be a friend of his. Not like a best friend, but a close enough friend where it would be the ultimate betrayal to even consider a scam. So basically, the machine that he bought under the assumption that it was built by his friend, serviced by his friend's friend, was all a complete lie. What it was he bought the machine from China and upcharged Oompa like fucking 3 or 4x what it was actually valued at. So in total, he's out $1 million. Would have been more too. He was supposed to send an additional like 70 grand to the scammer, but he had like a come to Jesus moment about it being fishy. And yeah, he is still planning on launching the candy company. He says it's in a good spot, but he did lose $1 million over the course of this journey because of that scammer that was his friend. When you watch the video, I think it becomes pretty clear how anyone would have fallen for this. Like, there was so much communication. The person was for the most part, reputable. It was a friend, trustworthy, so you always give them the benefit of the doubt in the first place. Oompa bent over backwards to pay wages and accommodate in order to get everything, situated, getting everything serviced, having a maintenance team, doing pretty much everything by the book. But it just turns out it was all a complete fucking lie. Even if it wasn't a scam, he'd be at $1 million. Yeah, but he'd have a company to show for it. Right now, he still has to keep building in order to get that ready. He says he is close and it's in a good spot, but that $1 million, assuming it didn't go to a scammer, would have helped launch the company and they would have already been in production. Well, and also, another thing that I think is worth mentioning, the machine that he did get that came from China that he was told was built by his friend and all them, the machine was quoted on the receipt as $143,000. Meanwhile, Oompa paid like $700,000. So he also wouldn't have been out $1 million, and he would have also been in production by now. Even if it was your friend, wouldn't you look up how much the machine may be going for? Well, he wasn't buying a pre-built machine. The whole reason that he was going to his friend for this was to produce that machine, to make that machine. It wasn't supposed to be like a pre-built machine. So where would you even go to get information on that or see other competitive quotes when this is supposed to be like basically a bespoke deal here? It wasn't $1 million for the machine. He lost $1 million over time by getting the machine and paying the guy and everything. Yep. He said $700,000 to the actual scammer, and then over the course of like wages and other expenses came out to around $1 million in the shitter. Should have consulted me, easy. True, he should have went to you. He should have been in Twitch chat just looking for the experts. You would have sniffed it out. Just go to Ask Reddit for advice. Where all sane people go, yeah. Why not ask a specialist about this before paying? The guy was a fucking specialist. Well, was supposed to be a specialist. And I guess in a way he was with scamming. Like, I don't know who else he was supposed to find. Like, Willy Wonka? Like, it's a hard thing to find people for that. Can he do something to press charges, or is it out of his control? Oh, they could absolutely press charges. 100%. Now, I don't know how hard they're going to go on that, but yeah, you can't just scam someone out of $700,000 for labor you didn't do and a completely false pretense on the whole situation, yeah. They could absolutely sue, and should sue. Can't sue if you can't be served. That's true. You gotta be real elusive. Just hide in the shadows and wear a disguise like glasses and a mustache. That's kind of the general overview of what happened. Again, just to give you the bullet points. Oompaville wanting to start the candy company, eventually realizing that if he wants to scale and keep things interesting, they're going to need to produce the candy themselves. Thus, they're going to need an actual machine. Thus, they're going to need an industrial engineer who knows what they're doing and can make the machine for them. He finds Jake. He hires Jake. He pays Jake up to $700,000 under the assumption that he is making this machine himself, specifically for the purpose of the Sour Boys candy production. With tons and tons of delays and a lot of very odd circumstances and things that happen throughout this multiple year venture, he learns that the machine that he eventually does get from Jake's shop is not a machine that Jake or anyone that works for Jake built. It was a machine that Jake purchased from China for $140,000 and was sold to Oompaville for significantly more than $140,000. And since Jake and no one on his team built it, no one knew how to really service this machine. So when eventually Oompaville did have someone that knew Jake come out to help, that person, his name is Will, did not know how to actually work on the machine. Thus, they were at a complete standstill. It was gridlocked. There wasn't a whole lot to be done. They realized then, when Will got there, that they never built that machine. That machine was purchased from China, and everything Jake had been saying, everything Jake had claimed that he was doing was all a blatant lie at the expense of Oompaville's financial security. $1 million over the course of a few years, and he does still have a machine, but has to retrofit that machine now, completely change it around in order to actually work for the candy that he is producing. That's kind of the whole situation in a nutshell. There's a lot more moving parts in between there. He went in with both feet. He fucking cannonballed into the big business pool here. In the video, he talks about how he had a brief time of homelessness because he put like so much into this. He was like living out of the warehouse. It's a very like actually concerning story, but Oompa tells it with a smile on his face. But hearing that, I'm like, Jesus Christ, that was like reckless and scary. But, you know, things are working out, kind of, though it would have been a lot smoother had he never met Jake and instead found a different engineer. But, you know, that's water under the bridge now. Hopefully Jake will face real punishment for this scam. This is not something that's like, you know, like, oh, that's what a goofball, Jake, you got us. Darn. This is absolutely a needs to be in jail, long prison sentence type of situation for this guy. That's an unforgivable thing to do. So yeah, that's kind of the bare bones of the story. I highly encourage you watch the entire documentary if you want to see like the nitty gritty of everything that went on throughout this entire journey. It's wild and sad. Him, Oompaville, and his family have like a really good attitude about everything somehow, which is, you know, hats off to them. I don't know how they maintain like positivity in the face of $1 million fucking scam like that, but good on them. I'm wishing them nothing but the best. I hope Sour Boys does very well. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because this is a very rare instance of a YouTuber being the victim of a scam. So yeah, that's really about it. So yep. Oh, actually, before that, I forgot to look at this.
Recently, I did a video about Earth 2. In my eyes, it's either A, a delusional group of pathetically idealistic idiots who think that they can redefine the entire virtual entertainment sector with a small team, limited resources, and the largest undertaking, possibly, in the history of technology, or B, a pyramid scheme and a scam that will never deliver and was never intended to. Take your pick, it's still a bad thing.
I think it's the first one.
Well, that video caused a lot of anger and a...
Planet IX is
I'm sold. Fuck it, that looks cool.
Copy of the planet where players can buy, collect, and trade picks, which is how we call the lots of land.
It's the same game.
Packages and then go into the marketplace and then they can sell, exchange, buy directly from
Holy
the
fuck. Holy shit, it is exactly the same scam.
And we're gonna plant like tons and tons of trees. And those guys do not only plant trees, but they have like really beautiful social work happening.
Who are they?
The success of the game. The more players
they also have 50 rocket ships.
The more trees we're gonna plant, and we're gonna keep doing this beautiful.
We're gonna plant trees. We're gonna make laser eyes.
Gameplay, NFTs, cryptocurrency.
This is the most unapologetic scam I've ever seen.
Just work. Soon we'll have tutorials online and showing like how easy this entire NFT world will be.
This is actually
That's
shocking.
That's a colossal amount, actually, because in just a minute 30 flat, this project manages to combine social and environmental activism, NFTs, crypto,
it did a lot.
World building,
it
gaming,
did do a lot.
Loot boxes, and honestly a whole bunch more. But
I think some
most
people just
importantly, as
need to
per their
get
own
scammed.
advertised framework, they will launch in 3 separate.
Like if you put money into
Sound familiar?
this
digital world will
like
apparently
you
change
really
the actual
deserve
world.
it.
And since I've now been accused many, it's easy to establish what Planet IX is once we establish what Crowd 1 is. And to do that, we need to look at their history and their business model.
Jesus, how deep does it go?
Self-advertises as some sort of Crowd 1 is a pyramid scheme, more commonly known today by those with an utter lack of intellectual competence as a multi-level marketing opportunity. Crowd 1
Nobody calls it that though. They just call it a pyramid scheme.
Greed
I never hear that tossed around anymore.
The business model revolves around education. It's pretty much the standard practice for those who rely on colloquial turns of phrase as some sort of life-changing charade. And it is, of course.
So what do you buy?
Crowd 1 skirts.
I'm just gonna look it up myself. I don't get it. What the fuck do you buy with Crowd 1? You buy quotes? Oh my god. I'm gonna bring up this website. Let me show you. If any of you, you're taking business courses in university, maybe you graduated with the degree and you're too smart to be scammed, just in case. If you ever see a fucking site that has to say, we are not an investment scheme, you're fucked. If you disregard something like this and still go in, you deserve whatever happens next. You absolutely deserve it. Within the very first paragraph of this website, it immediately gives you the biggest possible red flag. Literally, we aren't a scam. Trust us. But yeah, this looks like an absolute dog shit idea. And I still don't even get what it does. Like, I don't know what you're... Like, what is this shit, though? Like, you're buying nothing. You're buying Migster, who I'm guessing is like a cereal box mascot or something. I don't really get it. Like, I don't know how someone falls for this. Oh, here he is. A mobile gaming tournament platform, Migster. So you're paying for 12 months to a furry fan site? Like, what is it?
Mixter is a social gaming platform for you and your friends to play and take part in tournaments through online streaming.
They did not. They did not. This is the old Scooby-Doo Cartoon Network game from their website back in the early 2000s. Holy shit. I am actually... This just sent me on like a nostalgia boner, like fucking That's So Raven episode. I used to play all of those Cartoon Network games. All of them. The Dexter's Lab ones where you're making like a maze for chickens to die in. The Scooby-Doo one, Samurai Jack had a good one. Teen Titans, oh my god. Why is this being advertised in a 2021 product? Stream your favorite games. If you're trapped in a time vortex in 2002... Oh, Mixter's calling, you better answer. What's that playful little guy want? Uh-oh. Christ, so when a tournament starts, your whole life is ruined. The Avengers called, we need you, ASAP. Stop what you're doing, you have to play the Scooby-Doo Flash game, right now. So much effort went into this trailer. My god, for one of the worst ideas I've ever seen. I feel like I'm getting a whole movie's experience worth right now. Wow. Fuck. Alright, sign me up. That trailer was real cool. And let's see how Migster's doing now. So you pay for this payment plan for Migster access. But how is he doing? Do they have reviews of Migster on YouTube? Is there any Migster tubers?
Whether or not in-press nilang po yung... So,
do you play any games?
Automatic meron
Here we
pa
go.
yung 1,000 credits. So para saan po ba yung 1,000 credits na yun? So para ano po ba yan at nakikita na ang sobrang
When
dami.
does the gaming
yung,
start?
Ano po katay ng...
Alright, that didn't really answer any of my questions. Alright. So I didn't learn anything. But I am interested. What else do you pay for? With Mindo, you grow both personally and professionally. Explore courses like rhetorics and how to build your audience and become an entrepreneur. Travel benefits. With Life Trends, you get great discounts at hotels, travel, and cruises. I don't understand. With what? Hey, excuse me, I'd like to stay at this hotel. I have 15 Life Trends coins from Crowd 1. What do you mean, get out? Man, this is crazy. So this is it? This is all of Crowd 1? You just pay for subscriptions to these awful services? What is so me? I'm so confused. Like, I don't even get the differences in the packages, man. Like, this is blowing my fucking mind that anyone puts money into this. So at $300, you get access to all of their garbage. And for $800, you get access to all of their garbage at the exact same lengths with a little extra Life Trend money coins. But then you get something called lifetime membership to Link Me, which doesn't seem to be like a service anywhere on here. Oh, here it is. Never lose a link again. So you get access to a notepad to save your links. And then for $3,000, you get So Me as well. I don't understand. The world is a social one, but it's hard to keep track of all of the different platforms. So what? You get a platform that tells you Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, and then you just click on those. So you get the access to bookmarks. I don't even, like, what does this mean? This is baffling, man. People are so dumb. Like, god damn.
But Emerge Gaming has, quote, no idea what the motivations of its 150,000 subscriber user base really are. Which is a direct result of their partnership with Crowd1 because its platform is used as an affiliate marketing scam to lure in vulnerable people and is quite literally damaging to their image as a publicly traded company.
True, I definitely thought less of them. 150,000 subscribers to it!
Scam. Emerge Gaming is also accused of not conducting their due diligence when they accepted over $8 million from Crowd1. And the list will go on and on.
Well, that's a good chunk of change. If you're gonna fuck your product, you might as well do it for $8 million. I'm going to create a service. Doesn't exist. I'm just going to make a cute mascot, and I'm just going to like stealth launch a service like a website somewhere and just say, you know, like a subscription model, dumb tiers. And I'm just going to see how many people just give money to something that just doesn't promise anything and just doesn't exist. I'm going to fill the description, like make a real website filled with just buzzwords on buzzwords, but never actually say that there's going to be anything there, so I don't have to worry about fraud. It's literally just going to be a thing that people can put money into, and I'll just see how many people do it. Like, I cannot believe... Like, this one, Earth 2, okay, FOMO, right? People don't want to miss out, and Earth 2 promises, like, hey, if you buy this fucking tile on a grid, it might be worth something. You know, but this promises nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I'm on their Twitter right now. They say they have 1 million Migster subscribers, and I promise you that's a lie. And then there's one guy commented on this saying this is amazing and unbelievable. He misspelled unbelievable. Crazy. I don't doubt 150,000 subscribers, though. I actually don't doubt it.
To go rapid
Just
fire
make me
because
upset.
the explanation would derail into an hour or more at least of links and affiliations.
It's believable because it's not a scam. I can't tell if that's sarcastic or not. Please, I need to hear... For the love of God, tell me you're making a sarcastic comment, Baskin. I'll wait. We need to sit you down and, like, take away your access to spending money. Everyone in chat is on Migster. You're behind. Fuck! I'm gonna have to start streaming on Migster. Fuck! Yeah, what was I thinking?
There are individual statements about the exact moment that Crowd1 devalued their promotional currency and robbed nearly everyone who was affiliated with them of what they had been working for by aggressively
Holy
lobbying
shit.
their friends and family to join this scam, such as Tor Anders Petero, who is known in his home country as the Pyramid King, and how once that information was discovered by BBC Africa, it got cleansed.
Yeah, but this time it's different.
From the internet.
This time he went
That man has
legit.
openly stated numerous times
This
that
is
he
real
looks
now.
for and accepts leads on
He's targeting
anyone trying to
gamers.
start
No one
a
betrays
multi-level
us.
marketing scheme. Planet IX hasn't actually launched yet. It hasn't sucked tens of millions of dollars out of the pockets of
Oh, but it
people
will.
sold on a dream that doesn't exist.
It
to enrich a
fucking
few
will.
criminals at the top of the pyramid. Actually, maybe it has. It is, after all, marketing to a user base in the tens of millions under the global network that is Crowd1. But it's still in a phase where some people might be susceptible, and it's beginning to ramp.
Oh no, Selfa. It's a wonderful thing being a member. No, oh, come on now.
An ultimate ending that isn't a total investor wipeout based on the methodology and business
I gotta
practices
hand it
of
to the
its
team,
parent
though.
company,
They've been
Crowd1.
pyramid
But when
scheming for
reality calls,
years.
it will be harsh.
And they keep
I wouldn't
doing
be
it
surprised
successfully.
At all if they take this particular video down or DMCA something or
One of the
send a
guys is
slap
literally
suit,
called the king
I
of
don't really
pyramid
care
schemes,
because
and he
it
still
needs to be
makes
said.
another one.
I
Just
see
fine.
it everywhere. Humanize it that if this entire thing falls apart, it's going to impact a lot of innocent people, not just the scammers who are stealing most of the money at the top. So it's a really complex problem.
That was good. I actually cannot believe this shit. Like, oh my god. I just don't understand. I don't get the perspective. Like, how does someone go to that website that I just showed you and read anything on there and be like, yep, probably safe? And if you do even a second of research and find out that the entire team behind it is known pyramid scam artists, like, I just don't know. Like, I just can't wrap my head around that thought process. Like we learned a couple weeks ago, most of the people who get scammed are like well-off, wealthier people. And I don't know how the fuck that happens. Maybe they don't read it. Then why put any money into it? Because like, unlike a crypto where you could just like fucking go wild and put something into dog shit and get rug pulled or whatever, this is you're putting money into something that claims it's a streaming service or like an education platform. So wouldn't you at least want to see that? It's fucking crazy. The word fantastic is defined by Merriam-Webster as meaning excellent. It's used to express that something is really good, even great, like Tony the Tiger says. But this definition no longer holds any meaning in my eyes. When I see the word fantastic, forevermore I will now only think of the scam game company Fantastic, the absolute clowns responsible for the day before. It is a never-ending disaster. The rain won't stop falling, but it won't wash away the tears as players who have expected that this game to be good for over a year find out that they were the victims of a giant fucking scam. So Fantastic HQ posted their official statement today where they said this. They dropped this stinky bombshell. Today we announced the closure of Fantastic Studio. Unfortunately, the day before has failed financially and we lack the funds to continue. All income received is being used to pay off debts to our partners. The game has been out for 4 days and they're already throwing in the towel like, it's over. It's done. We've lost all of our money. It's kaput. And it is an absolutely revolting pile of garbage. But it's only been 4 days. I've never seen a studio give up this quickly. It really just seems like a convenient excuse to close up shop and run away and hide because of all of the shady business they'd been up to over the last year or so. But anyway, we invested all our efforts, resources, and man-hours into development of The Day Before, which was our first huge game. We really wanted to release new patches to reveal the full potential of the game, but unfortunately we don't have the funding to continue the work. It's important to note that we didn't take any money from the public during the development of The Day Before. There were no pre-orders or crowdfunding campaigns. We worked tirelessly for 5 years, pouring our blood, sweat, and tears into the game. At the moment, the future of Day Before and Prop Night is unknown, but the servers will remain operational. We apologize if we didn't meet your expectations. We did everything within our power, but unfortunately, we miscalculated our capabilities. Creating games is an incredibly challenging endeavor. We're grateful to everyone who supported us during these difficult years. It's been a fantastic journey over the past 8 years. And then they go through their resume there. So the reason they keep driving home the idea that, hey, we didn't take any money from anyone during the long time of misleading the public into what we were actually working on. We didn't take any money. Thus, we can't possibly be misconstrued as some kind of illegitimate business or a scam. But there's many other ways you scam people besides taking their money directly. Like, you did inadvertently end up taking people's money through false advertisement. You did technically scam them because you advertised an open world MMO game, you advertised so many things that aren't in the actual game you released, and so many players still thought that's what they were going to get with your package. So you did still take their money eventually, even though it wasn't crowdfunded in the beginning. You still ultimately did scam your audience. But anyway, I want to break down the whole situation around this studio as well as The Day Before, and also there's a little bit more that's going on here besides just the closure of their studio that I'd like to talk about. I'll get into all that in just a moment. First, I want to talk about Opera GX real quick. Big thanks to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. Opera GX is the best browser available, period. I've talked about it many times, but it is the truth. Unlike other browsers, it's not a resource hog, so using Opera is never going to tank your performance or anything like that.
Don't get fucked by your RAM! Keep that shit under control!
Everything is super convenient with Opera because you can just have everything pretty much integrated directly into the browser, like your messaging apps, Discord, Facebook Messenger, Instagram. But there's also just so much you can do with it to customize it to your personal tastes, thanks to GX mods. You can create something entirely unique and original, or you can choose from some mods that already exist on Opera, like the Eric Andre mod.
Customize sounds, wallpaper, colors. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Another fun feature is the GX Corner, which can keep you up to date on upcoming video game release dates as well as the best deals around, so that way you can find the optimal spot to shop for the upcoming game. It's just so many fun features that Opera has. I highly recommend using Opera as your browser from this point forward. You can click the link in the description below to get started, and thanks again to Opera for sponsoring.
Get Opera GX!
Now, I'm just going to break down the basics of this if you haven't followed this story. It's something I've talked about for about a year now, and the game just came out, so it's being talked about again. I also just made a video on it. But The Day Before was Steam's most wish-listed game. It was a series of trailers that were advertising a product that never actually existed, and the developers, their studio, is called Fantastic. Thus, they're responsible for the most misleading marketing I've ever seen. That would be like me trying to market myself on Tinder as being 6'5". Like, you can't really tell in a lot of the photos, but eventually someone's going to find out that I'm not that tall. And that's exactly what happened with this game. Everything they were showcasing, this open world zombie game, never actually existed. So what happened is, what did release 4 days ago is this fucking mess, this wonky piece of shit that is unplayably bad. And it's clear that they never ever had that product they were showcasing for a year that people were so excited for. Now, I have a working game theory on what exactly led to all of this. I truly think Fantastic as a studio made all of these trailers to generate as much hype as possible to get like an audience hooked on their idea, their concept, to try and sell it to investors, to get a lot of investor backing behind it. So they go through this nefarious plot. They do get a ton of people excited for the day before, most wishlisted game on Steam and all that. But maybe no investors ever bid. Maybe they never received any investor backing. So then maybe they felt as though they were pressured at that point. They had their ass held to the fire. They have all of these people demanding a game that they don't have and they don't have the ability to make. And perhaps they were fearful of a potential lawsuit for what they were doing. So then they cobble together this piece of shit in their colon and poop it out onto Steam 4 days ago, and the rest is history. It's bad. Everyone hates it because it's really, really bad. And now they feel as though they can comfortably wash their hands of this whole chapter of the book and walk away without being in like legal trouble or anything like that. That's what I think happened, because I have no other explanation for why they would make a fake trailer, make fake trailers for a game that they weren't actively making and never were actively making. It doesn't compute. If this was a Kickstarter thing, then I'd get it. Their whole plan was to scam people by getting a ton of money in this game they weren't making. Like, that happens all the time on Kickstarter. But here, they weren't making money throughout this process of, like, misleading people. So what the fuck was the point? I can't quite figure it out. So this is the best theory I have for it. Now, anyway, that's kind of the whole breakdown in a nutshell. Now, I definitely want to mention that the game is no longer available for purchase anymore, apparently. So everyone who's got the game has a rare gem on their hands, because you can't buy it anymore. They closed the studio and they closed access to the game, which makes sense because how could they keep the game open if the studio's not there? Where the fuck would the money go? It'd just go into like an endless void. But it seems as though the goal for this group of goofballs is now to erase the day before from the internet entirely. To wipe its presence, just poof into the night, vanish, so people could move on and forget, and they could all go to their next big scam project, perhaps, because that seems to be the direction that they're trying to go. And also, it's worth mentioning, when the day before released, they themselves posted this bullet point list of very odd things. This is just a really fishy thing that went up, and it immediately sounded some alarm bells for me. On stream, I even said to one of the players, well, I didn't say it to him, there was a player in my day before lobby who was like, man, I can't wait for the updates to really smooth out this game. I said that that's never happening. I knew this game was never going to be updated. Like I mentioned, this feels as though they put it out because they felt they absolutely had to, and they had no other choice but to produce something tangible. And now that they did, they run away and can pretend it never happened. And this bullet point list is the main thing that made me feel that way. So it's like, to our future player who will dive into the game on December 7th, we made this for you. So like almost a little victory lap, you know, it's a celebration together. We'll continue improving the game and adding content. That didn't age well. It didn't even make it a fucking week before they put her down, took it behind the barn. They then have a bunch of mumbo jumbo to the haters. To a person who didn't believe in us, we made this game for you too. We accept any kind of criticism and don't hold a grudge against you. Before we continue moving forward together, kindly allow us to note a few things. Please forgive us for not doing the best marketing and teasers. We learn something new and improve ourselves every single day. Jesus. you made teasers and marketing for something that never existed. And they also copied quite a bit of things from those as well. Please don't accuse us of scamming. That's not true. We didn't take a penny from anyone. Literally begging people to just stop calling them Scam Game, even though they are Scam Game Studio. Like, this is still a scam. Please don't accuse us of asset flip. That's not true also. Our team worked day and night for 5 years to make our dream game a reality, which is also not true because the actual fucking city map is an asset. They used assets. Like, I don't know why they're just blatantly lying about it. And then please don't underestimate our work. It wasn't easy. We are like you. We worked hard. And we're incredibly happy that our game will finally see the light of day for everyone to explore. Saw the light of day for 4 days. It didn't even make it long enough to learn how to crawl before you gave up on it. Well, it was always the plan to give up on it, clearly. I think that was designed from the beginning. They got a huge influx of cash. I think they had like a peak player count of like 30K. That's a lot of money. Like, that is actually a lot of money that they got up front for this fucking game, this pile of shit. So they did make a pretty penny off it and then bounce. They just said, we're out. The whole thing is so scummy. I think everybody knew this game wasn't going to get any real support from this team. I think all of us were surprised they even put something out to begin with. That was the biggest shocker about any of this, that they actually produced something, even though it was barely functional and absolutely horrid to play. The fact they made something was such a surprising twist. But yeah, everything else besides that is not surprising. Them closing immediately after this comes out, after getting some money from the gamers, that super expected. I didn't think it'd be 4 days. I thought they'd close it after like a month or so of hosing people down and maybe like drip feeding a couple of meaningless updates here and there, perhaps, like maybe. I didn't expect it to be this quick, but yeah. That's kind of the whole story here, and I feel like that's probably where the legend of the day before ends. So yeah, that's about it. So yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna watch the fucking breakdown video, because the Reddit threads and reading the comments, they're starting to like compile into this multi-dimensional argument with different theories going on. Who made a video about Blue Box? I know Mudahar talked about it on Twitter.
Oh, wait, literally as I'm making this video, I'm seeing this new tweet.
The
patch is
Vulcan
now live.
And Coin. Oh, he's gonna... Yeah, this is a good trailer. I just watched this with you guys. This was nuts.
That's it. That's the whole freaking thing. Blue Box Games
That
Studios.
walk cycle
this
is nutty, though.
allegedly an indie game dev studio that has been embroiled in conspiracy, as people suspect that their upcoming project Abandoned might actually be related to Silent Hill or Metal Gear or just something Kojima related. The creative director of the Abandoned project, his last name, translated from Turkish to Japanese, is Hideo, as both words mean hero, and so that one especially got...
This is a big, for those that don't know, this is like a big scam thing that we're trying to learn about.
At one point tweeted out, while I sympathized with them at first, then they decided to release this tease, a tweet that reads, "Are you ready? We are," and you get the Abandoned logo here that uses a font that is damn near identical to the one used by Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, Portable Ops, Peace Walker, and the Metal Gear Solid Legacy collection. And in the back...
Seems like a pretty normal
image
font.
Of a man wearing how the marketing
This is probably just one guy
seems to
fucking
be
with gamers.
baiting that fan base.
Though didn't
in
Sony
order
tweet
to
them out? So
spread
maybe
these
not.
theories back in June 20th, it was announced that this trailer app that would allow people to watch a real-time rendering of their trailer instead of a video version of it.
Why?
Originally,
Who
it was
cares?
supposed to
That's
release
super
on
dumb.
June 22nd,
It's a dumb idea for an app.
2021 until August. Then on July 11th, an exact release date was provided with a tweet that reads, "We're excited to announce that the Abandoned Trailers app will be available to preload free of charge for all
Let's
PS5
go!
users on July 29th.
And Jimmy Kimmel
Production
is
available
live!
on August 10th, and
Let's
those
go!
plans have been derailed, which it asks you to... It shows the Blue Box Game Studios logo. It asks you to pick a language, eventually. And once you pick it, you get a message that says this application does not contain any playable content, yada, yada, yada. All content is rendered 3D images and therefore not a high
Whoever's
quality
behind
video.
this is a genius.
But after
Testing
that,
the
it fades
patience
to a
of
message
gamers.
that says, check back. You'll get a glimpse to what you see is what you play, along with some announcements to look out for. See you on August 10th.
Amen.
From there, just hours, or I believe even just minutes before this introduction was set to launch on this trailer app, Blue Box tweeted this, a teaser, and it doesn't show a whole lot, but it gives you, I guess, a glimpse of the graphics
We saw
of
that.
this game. All it shows really is some wooden plank flooring alongside a man who's walking through it.
Goddamn
Just
right he
looking
is.
At the camera, and the
Thank you for
content
that.
that was supposed to release for it was delayed literally on the hour when they realized that there was an issue with the patch that was supposed to show off whatever
It's very advanced
this app
tech.
was meant to show off.
It
Here are
showed
some
a man
additional
walking.
tweets
Like, that's
compiled
fucking
by
nutty.
IGN. Quick update, we are still working on it. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience.
Let me check. I want to see their Twitter real quick. We haven't looked at their Twitter. We've only seen Hassan's Twitter. I'm actually pretty curious what's going on over there in that wacky part of the world. It's so dangerous to click on these, but I want to read what people are saying, but I know I'm going to see Council of Cock. I'm smarter than that, but god damn it, the curiosity is getting the best of me. I'm going in, I'm taking the risk. Oh. Well, Twitter blocked it for me. There's probably a Council of Cock right here.
And then on August 12th,
He's a
which
tier
is
1
just
Omega.
yesterday, they tweeted out this. We ask everyone to calmly wait for the patch.
Yeah,
We
they deleted
understand your
all of this.
frustration. We are 100% real and are working on a passionate game we believe in. This is what happened. We dealt with multiple engine issues that occurred last minute after we spotted a graphical glitch, and it's a very vague explanation that has people scratching their heads and raising their eyebrows. For that, we wanted
You
to
just
do a
don't
quick update. We're
understand.
almost there, as most of the testing is complete.
This would brick
We'd like to thank
consoles.
you
It was
again
so
for your patience
powerful.
and apologize. I'm all for giving developers the time that they need. When you're constantly announcing release dates and delaying and announcing and delaying, especially when it happens at the last minute multiple times, and in this case happens on the day off, on the hour of, I mean, that just shows
That's gaming,
a lack
baby.
of something, a lack of organization, a lack of
of
competence,
respect.
a lack of experience. Let's actually boot the app up and
I might
see what
speedrun
happens.
this game.
First, let me check and make sure
Or this
that
app,
this is
rather.
the latest version of the app. It's worth noting that this patch is 5 gigabytes, just a little over 5 gigabytes. So, I mean, there
Yeah, it's
better be
mining crypto.
something substantial here.
Through the
Actually, I
PlayStation.
found the clip. Be warned, you will be thoroughly disappointed. So
Nuh-uh.
here it is. You pick the language. You get the message here before taken to this menu. where we're shown that. Yeah, I
Thanks for
don't
the
know
gift
what
sub,
Blue Box
haircut.
is thinking anymore with this.
It's
marketing
clearly
campaign.
a company that just exists to
It's just so
troll.
frustrating
It's
to
not
me.
a real company. It is absolutely not a
Behold.
real
So
company.
here it is. Welcome to the real-time experience.
Their track record proves that. They just make games, get investor money, and then close down. We just looked at the timeline. They are not a real fucking company. It's even better the 4th time around. Let's go! Big walking.
That's it. That's the whole freaking thing. It just feels like they're dragging us along at this point. It feels like they're trolling, to be honest. So that clip,
Yeah,
is
that's
the
what
very
they're
one that I
doing.
showed you, the one that they tweeted on August 10th, and I thought it might be just like a little piece.
But it
of
looks better in the
full thing that we're
PlayStation
gonna show on
5
August 10th,
engine
but it's
in their app.
literally the whole thing. So what's the point of the real-time trailer app and getting everyone hyped to see something that's already been tweeted? I'm so confused by this. It doesn't.
Please tell me this is just someone memeing. There was a guy that streamed for 3 days straight only to see that 5-second clip. There's no fucking way you're being serious right now. No one. Nobody would do that. I have a very hard time wrapping my head around the idea that someone is that invested in anything they're not directly involved in. Let alone a game from a fucking non-existent studio that just pumps out wet farts to get investor money. That is so upsetting to hear. I feel so bad for that guy. But I have to wonder, why would they do that? So, before I continue, does he even talk about the timeline of the garbage Blue Box Studio has done since 2015? Because it seems like this is more focusing on their most recent blunder.
That one itty-bitty bit of footage justifies 5 gigabytes, but
That walk
here's
cycle
one
is
to a user
intense.
and what adds an
I can look that
extra
up later,
layer
Haley.
of apprehension to all of this
Oh, that's
is
awful,
that
Andrew.
the internet
That's sad to
is
hear.
starting to do their research on Blue Box, and they're discovering
Here we
a
go.
history of them abandoning projects and this whole cycle of delaying marketing over and over again and then nothing coming from it. Like, playable teaser for it was delayed because of technical issues, which is a very familiar story with what's been happening with Abandon and all of its
The
delays.
tech's just
Said
not
they
there
don't have
yet.
VR,
Blue
then
Box
announced
is
they
too
canceled
smart. They're
VR,
too
then
far ahead of
canceled
us.
our Kickstarter. They said that they will stream gameplay soon. The game ultimately never came out and was deleted from the IndieDB website.
That one's one of the better
Then,
ones.
In 2017,
Yeah.
they announced a horror game called The Whisper coming out on June 2017. The game never came out.
Oh, what in tarnation? I can't believe
2018,
it.
They announced a multiplayer horror game called Unseen Faces, also never came out.
Oh, what the fuck?
2019,
What are the odds?
Released 2020 released a horrible horror game called The Haunting on Steam in early access. Game received 100% negative reviews. They
Whoa,
removed
wait.
the
is
buy
this...
option.
I actually didn't finish
They
reading
said
this
that
one.
A big update was
Hold on. Is that... So it said it removed the buy option. Is this still going to exist on torrent sites then? Hold on. I need to look this up. Give me one sec. I would love to see what they made. What the fuck? That's actually big. I didn't even read the rest of that. It's called The Haunting, right? Oh, here's the trailer. This looks exactly like the trailer they just released for Abandoned, right before a walk cycle. Holy shit! Wow. Do you think this was made in collaboration with Hideo Kojima? Damn, he's got her stun locked. This is not Fatal Frame, you swine. This is clearly The Haunting. They can't even almost make this look interesting in the trailer. It's just the same location doing the same thing. Holy shit. Oh, you fucked up. It looks like you can't actually lose the game. But you can win! Oh my god! This has everything you could ever want! Why even play another video game when this exists? I'm gonna feel really bad if this isn't actually theirs, because a couple different games came up for The Haunting, but this is the one that stood out to me. It's on Steam as Haunting Bloodwater Curse. Oh, let's go! Damn, they really did remove the buy option. Man, scams on Google aren't even... I don't think I can pull this up on stream, but some of these fucking websites, I can't imagine who falls for this. Like the very first one when I'm looking for one of these, maybe torrents, I won't say for sure, it says, download Haunting Bloodwater early, and the date that it was posted is October 4th, 2021. This man sent this shit from the future.
Presently,
yeah,
the short version
assholes,
is that this
right?
is a guy who has a history of making big promises and only half finishing the things he works on. He's a man with visions.
That's so... It undersells it so hard. From if everything on the timeline is accurate, which it seems it is, considering it's been corroborated from multiple different sources, then he has not only completed half of his work, he's completed none of it. The only thing he's completed was Curse of the Bloodwater, and it wasn't even a real game. We just watched the trailer. It's a single open area that you take pictures of 2 enemies of. And then they immediately took it off Steam because it didn't work. Like, it's not like he's got these big ambitions and he has this eye for quality, he just can't focus on it. It's like the guy from Jimmy Neutron that can never finish his sandwiches. It's not that case. It's a guy who is clearly exploiting these things, like for this, Hideo Kojima rumors. I don't know, it seems actually pretty fucked up to me. The more I read about, or the more I learn about the story. They have not released any product except The Haunting, and it was taken down shortly after because it didn't work, it wasn't complete, and it wasn't even really a game. So I just think that's a little misleading to say that. It paints him in a more positive light than I think he deserves.
A track record of abandoned
failure.
projects
They have a track record of
also
absolute
made
failure
promises,
and misinformation.
It's hard not to get. I hope all of my suspicions
I've looked into
and
it, Jake, but I haven't played it.
surrounding Blue Box and Abandon right now all turn out to be false, and that hopefully this is all just a hitch on the road of this project's journey. But
this guy's so positive.
The vague and unclear teasing, and have
he's
to be
very
very
optimistic. I like that.
What they're
As you give Subhuman.
But that's just one man's
As a
take. Let me know in
Subhuman.
the comments below what your disposition is towards.
Yeah, I would not give them that courtesy. Yeah, no, I think they fucked up. I think they have a history of misleading people. All of these are allegations, of course, but to me it seems like it's a company that exploits investors and capitalizes off fake generated hype. So, to me, it seems like a scam, allegedly. Luckily, no one's paid any money for any of their shit, so they're just being scammed out of time right now. Imagine this was like a 6-year plan. They formed... Hideo Kojima approached Hassan in 2015. He's like, look, I need you to make the shittiest game studio you can think of. We are gonna fuck things up for 6 years for a grand reveal. When people believe in us the least, then we'll release Silent Hills.